Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Bitcoin New York. Today is 24th of June. It's 8:46 right now. 3-day charts and the 2-day charts have completed, so I'd like to get into those charts. Today's title is Right Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to get into two of these cryptos and kind of getting into the deep dive of this. And yeah, if you like these videos, be sure to like and subscribe, guys. And all right, first of all, getting into the Fear and Greed Index over here. Yesterday, we were at 14. Today, right now, we are at 22. Both at extreme fears. The day before that was 26. Last week was at 26. And the day before yesterday was at 10. So it's kind of a uptrend happening in the Fear and Greed Index right now, which is kind of very good news for us right now. And I'm going to get into the US dollar index, currency index, first of all. And right now, the reason behind Bitcoin, not going up as we are kind of expecting it to be, is kind of because this US dollar currency index is kind of, which is at this state right now. The RSI is at the middle over here. And looking at it on the weekly charts over here, this is the weekly charts over here. Weekly charts, the RSI is at the top, so the one thing I'm very concerned about of this here, when Bitcoin goes up, the dollars usually goes down. So this is a time of coronavirus. And after that, this is the time that Bitcoin was rising up very highly. It's about over here. And this was at the time of this was at 2018 with the Bitcoin bubble over here. So January 19th, I think, around February, around that time. So usually this is the reverse position of Bitcoin. So this is it. You could take a very good reference from this US dollar currency index over here. And until this kind of settles down over here, it's kind of relates to Bitcoin. So this is kind of like, say, a reference to Bitcoin situation right now. And this part over here is kind of one thing I'm looking at over here in the trend lines over here. So if this once goes down, Bitcoin will probably come up after this. So this is the kind of the reason Bitcoin's kind of playing around it's kind of having a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. And pounds are getting a lot higher too. So if you're checking into the US dollar currency index, be sure to check out the weekly charts. And today, I think tomorrow is the day that the 4-day charts completes, so be sure to check that too. And study the charts if you have time. And the daily charts here, it's kind of starting to get up again. I think it might make a double top and go down after that. Looking at it on the daily charts, the bottom prices are kind of going higher. So if it goes through this trend line over here, I think Bitcoin will take a bit more time to recover from this. So there are instances of kind of going through and going down after that. So that are a few things to keep in mind when checking out. And this over here is stock to flow model chart over here. And this is the number that I'm kind of keeping my eye on over here. Minus 0.68 and minus 8.1, or around minus 8. Once it goes to minus 1.8, there are pretty good rising patterns that are occurring in those instances. And right now, it's actually kind of getting closer to that minus 8. So I think it's pretty much at the bottom of the bottom right now. There aren't really any instances of going lower than this 0.8 index over here. This is from lookintobitcoin.com. So if you are interested, make sure to check this place out. This has pretty great insights into the whole Bitcoin thing. So it's pretty much at the bottom around here. So it's pretty much a point to buy into right now, I think. Looking very good, in my opinion. So check out these numbers and how the charts are playing out after those numbers. And right now it's at around here in the numbers area, like yellow or orange place. So if it goes higher than this, if it goes around green, I think those are the places that are pretty much the highest it'll go for a while. So I think it's actually a great place to buy Bitcoin, but I think it's going to take a little bit more time to recover. And this is a Bitcoin in US dollars in the daily charts. And right now it's been on a high for 2 days, yesterday and day before. So it's been on a rise since the day before yesterday. So right now it's starting on a top over there. And the 2-day chart is close too. So yeah, a long stick touching the trend line and starting on top of that. And the 3-day charts over here are starting on a sell over here, but still a long candlestick over there. What I think it's gonna kind of maybe go down and hit that stick from the resistance line over there. So what happened here is it kind of made high on the stick over there and then kind of rose up after that. And if it were to hit that trend line over here, I think it's just gonna make higher and higher market lows, which is very, very good. And one more thing, today is 24th, so another, or a few days, I think. How many days is that? So next week's Wednesday, I think. So at that time, this yellow number is the price that I actually want to go to. So if it doesn't do that, I think it's going to take a little bit more and more time until this place recovers. And looking at it on a weekly charts over here, so this trend line is taking place over here. If it goes through that trend line, it's going to take a little bit more time until it hits that those few numbers that I've highlighted on the right corner over there. If it goes through that, it probably next would be $24,995. And the next part after that is to 23,000 about. So I think it will try to go around and touch those numbers. If it does that, I think it's a very bad place for Bitcoin. And right now, what we're trying to get into is going higher than that yellow number that I've highlighted over there at 35,000. So around here is the place that I actually want it to be by the time of next Wednesday. So maybe just once, even touching it makes a little bit of a difference. I think a lot of my viewers are kind of concerned about where this Bitcoin chart is going. I think it's going to be take some time until probably August around until this chart looks better. Probably around 48,000, 45,000, 42,000 even. So the first step for us is kind of going around that highlighted number and kind of, avoiding the red parts over there. And yeah, it's kind of at the bottom right now. So 31,173, 30,222. Yeah, and this is a pretty good place to at 30,008. So those numbers are a place to be getting into if you're interested in this situation over here and holding a position. So there aren't actually much growth to be excited about over here. Just going to take a little bit more time on this. So the last support was at 31,100. So if it goes down after that, it'll probably get down to 28,000. Sorry, let me get the daily charts here. So yeah, it might make a candlestick pattern and then go up after that. But that is something that I don't know if it will happen. And on the stock RSIs, there is a golden cross over here. So I think it's actually kind of pretty positive for this charts right now. And the RSIs over here at the 3-day charts over here. Let me get this trend line over here lined up. And yeah, this is looking pretty good here. So I'll probably go down and touch that trend line over there. So it's a matter of what happens after this place. Whether it'll scoop down or kind of just go up after that. And this is a weekly charts RSIs. I think there is a little bit more room to be going down over here. And I was saying something about this earlier. Let me get that data out here. 31,161. If it just goes and touch that place, that would be pretty good. But it's kind of something to take into consideration. Or it goes up and then touch here after that, like a little medium spike. Or there are instances of something like this. If I line it up like this, it's pretty much at the bottom. So I think it's over here. I think this is the kind of resistance trend line that's taking place. It might kind of do a zigzag fluctuation sideways, for all I know. Even if it does that there won't be much price changes happening if it were to fluctuate on the RSI. And that's all for Bitcoins. I'll always do Bitcoin, so. And on Twitter, I'm doing some of these updates. So if you're interested in Bitcoin related news, follow me on at Tatsugo channel at Twitter. And I think if there were a little bit more volume, that's kind of more desirable. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime with this kind of chart. And over here on the Ethereums, this was in Bitcoins. I want to check US dollars first. And Ethereum's in Tether US dollars over here. Yeah. As I was saying before, this is a point that we have to get over. If this is over, I think there will be more movements going on. If it goes through that, that's kind of if it goes through that, I was kind of saying this before, but so let me see here. 1,863, I think it might touch that. It is very possible that it will hit that place. Yeah, this part is pretty long over here. If it goes through that, the next one would probably be 1,500, around that number. And the lows are kind of getting lower, so I wouldn't mind being lower, but I would appreciate it if it was around 1,800. And I can say the same thing for Bitcoin, but I think it's still on a rising trend. So I think it's a smarter idea to be holding on. If I can hold it, you can hold it, you know. And the dollar index, if the dollar index goes up, I think it'll get a little bit hairy in this chart. So until the US dollar chart kind of goes down, I don't think it's going to bear much good news for Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. And yeah, buying the dip is kind of the fundamentals, in my opinion, if you're trying to make it in the crypto market. It's looking pretty good, in my opinion, actually. And this is the weekly charts over here. For example, getting the Fibonacci to over here. I've saying this before, at 1,800 to 189. I think that is the range that it could be reaching in the future. Those numbers are very, very possible. So if it were to hit this number, 1,101, I don't think that is... I think there are very, very little possibility of anything hitting that number. Or at 1,000 over here. I think there are instances of kind of like making a stick touching there. The RSI and the stock RSI are pretty much at the bottom over here in Ethereum. So there are more possibility of not selling off rather than this kind of selling off going through the trend line that I've lined up over there. So in the 2 weeks charts, if it makes a golden cross, I think it'll make a lot of more difference. And this is the weekly charts over here. And if you just buying the dip is kind of a considerable, very positive thing to do in this situation, in my opinion. And that's it for Ethereums in dollars. And getting into Ethereums in Bitcoins over here. This is the 3-day charts over here. So it is moving in this general direction in this trend line. And just once it touched that trend line, it kind of went through and kind of blew up. If it goes to the trend line downwards again, it'll probably go to 44,942 or 49,251. Around those numbers, I think those are very possible. I don't think it'll go down to around the 3.2 or 2.4 range at the bottom two lines. So just praying that doesn't happen. And the 3-day charts starting on a sell over there. One thing is different from dollars. It's kind of getting higher on that low sell off on that candlestick over there, which is very, very considerable on this market. As long as it doesn't go through that trend line or just not go full crazy on that trend line. Most considerable thing that's happening would be moving in a triangular pattern within the trend line over there. So that would be probably around, if it were to follow that pattern, it would be 2021 September, November, around that area at the end of the year. So if it does that, that would be a pretty good sign to be in a kind of a rising trend, which is very, very, I would be pretty happy if that happened. And yeah, so Ethereums and Bitcoins are pretty much it for that. It's kind of hard to be holding on to this or any crypto in this kind of situation, but yeah, people who go against that kind of current, wins in the end. All the people that kind of succeeded did those stuff. And even when Bitcoin is kind of not having a good time, I think pairing it with other altcoins and kind of swapping would be pretty smart. And Ethereum's had a lot of adjustments, so it's still kind of in a recovering phase, in my opinion. And apart from those, I think looking at the dollar indexes are kind of pretty good references to be kind of checking out what it is. And this chart is a pretty good place to be checking out too. I think I've set the link or the site name before in that video, so be sure to check it out. So yeah, the same thing is since the coronavirus and all like the big instances are happening right now, so it's a pretty good place to be in for Bitcoin. So yeah, so that is all for today. Have a great night, guys, wherever you are in the world. So thank you, guys. Please subscribe, and comment. And thank you, guys. Have a great night.